The date today is January 11, 2016. The time is 5:30 p.m. This is the meeting of the Paris City Council, and I'm going to call the meeting to order. We will start the meeting with an invocation by Mr. Anderson, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Ms. Lancaster. If I can have everyone please stand.
May we pray? Heavenly Father, we thank you again for every blessing, for we know that every good and perfect gift comes from you. We pray for your wisdom and guidance tonight as we conduct the business of the city. We pray for our council and their willingness, Father, to volunteer the many hours it takes, Father, to be an effective councilman. We thank you, Father, for all the people that have come out tonight to participate in our local government, and we just pray, Father, that everything might be done decently in order. For these things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First of all, Happy New Year to everyone. Item number 4 on the agenda is the Citizens Forum. Persons desiring to address the council must limit their presentation to no more than 2 minutes. Unless an item is posted on the agenda, the Texas Open Meetings Act prohibits the council from responding to any comments other than to refer the matter to a future agenda, to an existing policy, or to a staff person with specific factual information. Claims against the council, city council members, city or employees, as well as individual personnel appeals are not appropriate for the Citizens Forum. The Citizens Forum is now open. If you want to address, please come forward, write your name and address for the record. Mr. Gladfilter.
Good afternoon. How are you all today? Happy New Year.
Thank you.
I received documents through a Freedom of Information request recently, and it revealed to me that one of our planning and zoning members was a co-owner of land sold to Ben Adam Glick of the Tri-State Metal Company. All the permits that were issued for building seem to be redlined and hastily issued almost before the ink on the deed transfer was dried. Something seems to be amiss, and for this reason, I believe Barney Bray should temporarily step down from Planning and Zoning Commission. There is the appearance of conflict of interest here. You have some decisions to make, because this poor judgment may cost us taxpayers between $200,000 and $1 million. And I, for one, do not like funding a building project over in Reno, Texas with my money. Also, something has come to light at one of our recent meetings. Mr. Clifford brought to light some information regarding the PDC and a non-existent expansion project. I watched Mr. Harper stand at this podium, stare down my city council as they tried to take a vote. I also saw a lack of backbone in my council members. They're hesitant to raise their hand up on a vote. No one has a right to stare and voice approval of a vote, complain about the vote, and harangue the council to re-vote, especially my council. And he did it in order to vest his own interests and the hell with the rest of the city. I don't ever want to see something like this happen here again. You're being watched.
Thank you, Mr. Gladfelter. Anyone else wanting to address? If there's nobody else wanting to address the council, the Citizens Forum is now closed. Next, we'll move to the consent agenda. Any of the council members have any concerns on the consent agenda? Mr. Pickle?
No, sir.
Mr. Frierson?
No.
Dr. Clifford?
No, sir.
Mr. Pilata?
No.
Mr. Jenkins?
No, sir.
And Ms. Lancaster?
No, sir.
All right, I'll take a motion on this item then.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No, the motion carries. Next, we move on to the next agenda item, and that is item number 15, which is discuss the working relationship between City Council and Paris Economic Development Corporation. I'm the one who has put this item on the agenda, and I have a few words to say. Everyone in town wishes to have more jobs, and in particular, better paying jobs for the residents of this community. Over the last many years, the PEDC, by the vote of the people, was created as a source of support to achieve these objectives. Since I've been the mayor, there were a number of issues that were detected, the use of funds, policies and procedures, etc., and needless to say, on questioning of these issues, a lot of bad blood had been created. The purpose of doing this exercise was to ensure that public funds were being utilized in the way that they should have been. The bottom line is that the outcome of these discussions led to changes in policies and procedures that were adopted by the PEDC and resulted in significantly lowering the overhead of the organization. There, however, still remains some bad blood between the two organizations, with some PEDC board members trying to block even the entrance of council members to some of the sessions of the PEDC meeting, which is the executive sessions, and bringing about new policies about whether non-voting members should be allowed to the executive sessions of the PEDC board. I feel this is contradictory to the spirit of the two organizations that have to work together for improvement of the city of Paris. With the hiring of the new director at this point, I'd like to discuss with the council the future direction. At this time, I would like to say that we are the leaders of the community, and irrespective of what the PEDC board is trying to do, let us show magnanimity in our decisions and let us try to be positive in this new year and see with the new PEDC director in place on how far they are successful. And when I say successful, I really mean solid, constructive, transparent, and verifiable results. I'm not talking about self-praising long newspaper articles that go nowhere. Let us allow the PEDC board and the new director to perform the job that they have been tasked to do and follow their progress closely without interfering in their job with either good or bad commentary. Let us move forward and see their performance, and let the residents of this community see that the council has done every effort to try to work with the new board and its new director. At this time, I would strongly suggest that we let us not dig old graves and what could and what should and what went on before. Let us move forward for the improvement of the city and economic progress in our town, and see their performance and reevaluate the situation in the next 6 months. I wish them success and would request that members of the council do the same. This item is not an item at this point that I want to go into who did what. I think let's have a New Year's resolution that we'll all try to work well together and see how we do. That's all I wanted to say. If anyone wants to add, they're more than welcome to add their comments. But the only thing I would suggest is, at this point, I really don't want to go into the past. I don't want to know what could, should, etc. Let's move forward. Let's give them a chance to work and see what their performance is. With that, I don't have anything further to say. Anybody else?
Sure. If that is actually going to come to fruition this time, then I think that's a good way to start the new year. But this is 2.5 years worth of this mess that we've been dealing with, and I'm all for letting the board move forward on their own accord. I don't understand the 6 months, but I think as long as they're constructive and moving forward, then hopefully the community can too, and we can maybe after 2.5 years decide that we don't need to be in their business. So.
Anybody else?
I have a request. If we're going to let get bygones be bygones and work toward improving the community as a whole, I would ask that we as a council refrain from making negative comments publicly, whether it be through the newspaper, through the radio, or things like that. and criticizing actions that the PEDC has done, that, to be honest, I think that some of these things here, concerning voting, non-voting members, I mean, their bylaws are pretty self-explanatory in that we as council members and as city liaisons, as ex officio members, we're limited on what our responsibility is as far as with the PEDC. Our primary responsibility is to make sure that we select qualified candidates to put on the PEDC each July. And if there are conflicts that exist between the people that we put on the PEDC, then we need to be sure that we do a better job of putting people that we're comfortable with putting on, or understanding that those people have a job to do and we need to let them do their job as well.
Are you done?
I think so.
Anybody else? All right, thank you. We move on to the next item. Item number 6 is continue the public hearing, discuss and act on ordinance considering the petition of City of Paris for a change of zoning in Lake Crook Plan Development District, LCPDD Subzone 1, the resort area, to an agricultural district A on which the property is commonly known as Lake Crook, comprised of 3,000 plus acres of land in addition to 1,000 acres of lake area. Do we need to untable or anything on this item?
No,
Okay.
the public hearing's already open.
Okay. So the public hearing is open. Anyone wants to speak for or against is more than welcome to come and speak.
Good evening, council members, fellow citizens. My name is Holland Harper. I live at 1040 31st Street Southeast. I'm also the chair of Planning and Zoning. I thought it'd be prudent to come and visit with you guys since this was brought back down to Planning and Zoning, and we did unanimously vote to leave the ordinance as in place. The Lake Crook is about 3,000 acres. Plus or minus, there's 183 acres that are designated as a park. Probably over the last 7 months, actually about the last year, the staff has put time and energy in doing the plan development for each zone of that. Planning and Zoning thought that was one of the best pieces of information that came from City Council, and we thought that the staff had done a good job. And we felt it was the best interest of the city and this county to leave it the way it is.
Thank you, Mr. Harper.
My name is Ruth Ann Alsabrook, and I live at 208 5th Southwest. I'm here to speak in favor of changing the zoning back to agriculture. I go out to Lake Crook a lot. I walk out there and just drive around and look at it. And having lived in Austin and seen what happened to Lake Travis over a 20-year period with all of the development and everything going on, I hate to see anything developed around Lake Crook. It's such a beautiful area. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Alsabrook. Anybody else wanting to speak? If nobody else is wanting to speak, the public hearing is now closed. Is this an action item?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Pickle,
But
you want to say something
no,
about?
no, I don't want to say a thing.
Okay. Mr.
I
Frierson,
don't have any comments at this time.
Dr. Clifford,
Well, it seems to me when people talk to me about this, the vast majority of them say, don't develop it. I don't want to see any development out there. I could go either way with this, but listening to the constituents and listening to the people of Paris, it seems to me the people of Paris, at least certainly that are expressed to me, wish for this to go back to agricultural and to not have development out there. But I'm just saying that's what I'm hearing, and that's kind of the way I'm leaning.
Mr. Plata?
I kind of go along the same lines as Dr. Clifford, except I wish kind of the city could find a little funding so we could improve the park area somewhat, but that's, other than that, that's all I have to say.
Mr. Jenkins?
No comment.
Ms. Lancaster?
Well, pretty much what I hear is that we need to go back to having a park, a really nice park out there, and I support that.
My comments on this are that, first of all, I understand what Ms. Alsobrook is saying, and there's a whole bunch of people who, not just Ms. Alsobrook, who have voiced the same concern. But I also understand what Mr. Harper is saying, and quite honestly, we have a planning and zoning board. I don't want to necessarily go against what they have thought. I don't want to go against what the city has done. However, I think there remains a concern in the minds of a lot of people who support Lake Crook that, as Ms. Alsobrook is pointing out, that at some point it changes and we start selling properties there. That was really never the intention to begin with. The purpose was to develop a park and to have a nice area for residents of this community to utilize. I am still going to favor the fact that if we can create the park right now, and maybe if there is some way of carving out that we don't cancel the entire ordinance right now, people have worked hard on it, but at the same point have some reassurance given to those who are all for a park, that we start off with redevelopment of the park at least, and then revisit the issue at a later date of whether we need to change the rezoning or not change the rezoning. But at this point, my suggestion would be, let's start developing the park, for which we have a donation, for which I have given a donation as well, and let's start developing that and revisit the issue of the rezoning of the entire area at a later date. So that's my opinion.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds fine.
What, any comments?
So what are we doing?
So what I'm saying is,
Are we just leaving it alone then?
leave that portion alone right now, the ordinance as it is, but at least let's start developing the park area of the lake, for which there is a donation, for which we can do and make improvements to that area and come and revisit the issue of the entire rezoning at some later point and see how the community feels at a later date.
So do you need a vote on authorization to use those funds specifically for the park?
No, the funds are set aside for that purpose. What we'll do is we'll develop a plan how to spend them first and bring that back to you for you to approve that. We wouldn't just go out and do it. So it'll probably be, well, I mentioned before, playground, possibly a bathroom, different things like that out there. So
Parking.
to make that a much.
I mean, the park area of it, at least let's develop that and create a park so the people can utilize, and then bring it back at a later day and revisit the issue if we need to. But at least make sure that people are reassured that the intention here is not that we are selling water or selling Lake Crook or doing anything like that. We have the funds. Instead of delaying it forever, let's start developing the park. Let's have at least a place for people to utilize and enjoy, and then we come back and revisit the issue at a later date.
So we have roughly $110,000 to do that with, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Well, the city may have some
Well,
parking funds too.
Yeah, but I mean, we have we had two $100,000 donations, but one of those did go away.
Correct.
So, but we do have one of those
Yes.
in the bank. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's
We'll
what I was-
develop a plan and bring that back to you the next couple of
Okay.
months.
That's fine.
Is that acceptable to everyone?
I'm fine with that.
Okay, we.
Yes.
Yes.
So what I'll make, you need a motion on this item?
Doesn't hurt, doesn't hurt.
Okay, so I'll make the motion that we table this agenda item for a later point, that section that pertains to rezoning, and at least allow the city to proceed with development of the park area from the donations, and if extra money needs to be utilized for that. I'll make that motion.
I'll say.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? No. All right. Item number 17, discuss and act on a resolution authorizing the city to be eligible to participate in tax abatement and approving guidelines and criteria for granting tax abatement.
State law requires you on a biennial basis to adopt or re-adopt a policy if you're going to offer tax abatements, which the city of Paris does through the PEDC, or used to be through the PEDC, now through the Tax Abatement Committee. I did ask the PEDC's opinion on this December meeting, I guess. They had two things they recommended or suggested to the council. One of those would be a change so that the city, county, and college would be responsible for monitoring those, since PEDC no longer deals with those directly. And the other issue that they suggested be added in there was an exemption or an exception, excuse me, for greenfield projects that are on brand new, unbroken ground. Other than that, I have no additional information or comments.
I have a question on this, and from whatever I read, supposing somebody doesn't follow the requirements, what happens then? There is no clause there of, I mean, how do you proceed if somebody doesn't follow the rules?
If they don't meet their qualifications,
Yeah.
then they're not eligible for an abatement.
Okay, I don't think in the verbiage it's clearly clarified.
Of the existing policy?
Yeah. So
Okay,
if we can just take a look at that and make sure that
Okay.
it's specified.
okay. And you've got the existing policy in your backup?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I just didn't find it when I was reading it, that what happens if you've given abatements and there are requirements on that they are not followed?
Oh, okay, I was misunderstanding. Well, that's covered by state law. We can add that to the policy as well. That's covered by state law, how
That's
how
what I
that's
was
handled.
talking about.
Okay, so we can certainly add that as well, sure.
Mr. Pickle?
So are we going to be responsible for checking for compliance with the abatements? That's my question. I guess the council needs to decide, because that was, in that part of the suggestion?
That's one of the PEDC suggestions, yes.
Right, because right now, we don't have anybody to check for the abatements.
Well, the issue, I think, is, and I don't want to speak for PEDC's board, and there are several members here, but for a number of years, PEDC directly dealt with tax abatements. In the last year and a half, there's been the creation of this tax abatement committee, which includes the county judge, the college president, the chief appraiser, and city manager. And those four folks are the ones that deal directly with these people on tax abatement. So PEDC's board was like, well, we don't grant tax abatements, so we're not really in a position to monitor tax abatements for other people. And in addition, they have not had a staff for a while. They've got somebody hopefully really great coming in here the next few days.
Okay. Anything further?
Who's gonna monitor it?
That's the question.
It can be done in different places. It can be done in the city attorney's office, city manager's office, finance director. That'll kind of, we'll flesh that out once. If you tell us to do it or not, we'll take care of it from there.
I kind of like to see it in the city attorney's office.
I
Reason-
kind of would too.
And the reason is that it's legal. A lot of it's legal, and a lot of it's complicated, and the city attorney's office should be capable of keeping these records. I'd also like a report from the city attorney's office, as appropriate, regarding the status of the abatements. I'd also like some verbiage in these things, because the contracts all say you shall produce these initial documents that are sworn. You shall do it every year sworn. And what happens when it doesn't happen? I think we need some verbiage in there that if a mandatory document is mandatory, and if it's not submitted, the company is by de facto in default, and given 60 days to get the mandatory documents to us. I'd like that written in there, because, I mean, it's already in there, but it's sort of been ignored for the last several years.
Mr. Frierson? Mr. Plata? Mr. Jenkins?
I kind of like that direction.
Ms. Lancaster?
I like the idea that Dr. Clifford has said. We really need to have that in place.
I agree with that we need to have it in place, but without having the city attorney right now, I don't want to make the city attorney commit to something. They need to tell us what their thoughts are. Personally, I still like the idea of one joint organization which really they offer the incentives. Yes, the city offers the incentives in the county, but really people go to PEDC. People don't come to the city asking for tax abatement. They go to PEDC. PEDC has the rules. And as such, my favor would be that the PEDC should be responsible, as long as they have appropriate staff there, that they should monitor, that things that come, they monitor the jobs. They have other incentives that they give. While they're monitoring those other incentives, they should monitor the.
But they've already said that they are.
But they have not said, no, they said that is their suggestion.
Well, that's kind of the same thing though, right?
Well, we can go back to them and ask them that maybe they can, they're all sitting over here.
Well, they wouldn't have said they wanted to.
But
do
I think that is the board that is responsible, and they should. Anyone has any objections if I ask the question?
I think, go ahead.
Well, do you people have any objections if you monitor it? You'll have a new director. You might as well. You're going to monitor the rest of it. You might as well monitor that too. Or if you can, I don't want you to make a decision over here. If you can maybe get back when you get back to your meeting, please reconsider it and then get back to us.
Can I make a comment?
Sure.
I agree with Mr. Clifford, Dr. Clifford, wholeheartedly, that when I went down and started to look at.
Can you come to the mic, please?
As Secretary Treasurer, when I looked at these tax abatements and went and talked to Jerry Patton and to different people, I found out that there's a lot of things in there, just like Dr. Clifford said, that are legal, and I cannot figure out how that you can abate taxes and who comes forward with putting it on the tax rolls and who takes it off, and I was totally confused. I cannot figure out how that if, for instance, on Kimberly Clark, if you give $150 million abatement for projects that are ongoing for several years, and at the end of the year they come forward and say, okay, we spent $35 million this year. How does that get on the rolls and then abate it? And I'm sorry, it needs an attorney to go and talk to the capital appraisals and to the appraisal district, and then report back to you whether they are in compliance or not in compliance. And I really think that the board and the new director needs some expertise in the form of a lawyer, and since it's your abatement and you are negotiating within, for instance, in Skinner, you're talking to them about modifying the abatement or whatever, it would be better for your attorney to be making those decisions and telling you and guiding you instead of us being in charge of compliance. I just think it will be a lot better deal
And
if you run it yourselves.
And I understand that, but Mr. Wilson, isn't it that when Skinner came, Skinner really didn't come to the city asking for abatement, right? Skinner went to PEDC, correct?
That's correct.
And PEDC is the one who negotiated the agreement, and then you people came back to the council and said that this is what we...
I don't think that's correct. For instance, right now, you'll be looking at a abatement for Silgan Can. And so, and in all the correspondence, in every correspondence that we've had between PEDC and Silgan Can, we have told them repeatedly, we can give you an incentive to do your expansion, but the tax abatement has to come from the city and from the tax abatement committee. So from that standpoint, I just think it would be better if you your organization at the city would be in the compliance business instead of the PEDC. And also, it's a conflict when we're out here trying to recruit these people, and then we're turned around and we have to go back and say, hey, you're not in compliance, so therefore you don't get your tax abatement. It puts the PEDC who recruited that person or who negotiated with them an expansion. It puts us in an unusual situation that we're in the trying to give them something on one hand, but slap their hand if they don't comply on the other. So,
All right.
and we think that we definitely need to be. We're going to make them comply with their incentive, because that's what we gave them. We're giving them incentives. So therefore, let us make them. We'll be the compliance officer for that. But for the tax abatement, we think it would be the entities of county and city to do that.
All right, thank you very much.
That's my opinion, and I think that's our general agreement as the board. Thank you.
Mr. Pratt.
Dr. Hoshmi, from kind of a different angle, I do agree with Mr. Wilson and Dr. Clifford. I think it might be best served to be within the city just because it creates a clearer chain of command and accountability instead of the city council questioning the methods, good or bad, of the PEDC, which we appoint the board members. We directly are responsible for, or the city attorney is directly responsible to the city council. So we, in effect, can control the performance reviews and direct them individually, as opposed to good, bad, or otherwise political infighting. So just my opinion.
It's a new year, and I'll go along with you. Those generally don't agree, but I'll agree this time.
Hope springs eternal. So
okay, I'll agree. Okay, I suppose that we make a motion to approve it
with those three revisions.
Okay.
What are the three specific revisions again?
The two on here, and then the one where we would include reference to the state law regarding the
Reference to state law, what you suggested that.
Yeah, I just want to make sure, I mean, the problem we've had for so long is it's been mandatory, but it hasn't been done. And then what do you do 10 years down the road when something that was mandatory 10 years ago wasn't done? We don't ever need to be in that situation again. So I'd like for, the company is responsible for doing it, and if they don't do it on their own, they're de facto in default. That's the way it should be. It's the way it should have been all along. And then we notify them, hey, you were supposed to send this to me on the 15th, and we haven't received it. You got 60 days. And that's what the contract says. Moving forward, as you said, I'd like to see it done that way.
Okay, I'll make a motion to add that, this, and the other suggestions from PEDC.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hallelujah.
What did you say?
I said hallelujah. It only took y'all 6 months to come around, but at least you did.
Don't go back now.
I'm not. I'm tickled to death.
All right. 18, receive presentation from State Street Housing regarding a tax credit for a housing project. Somebody is going to speak. Do we have their names and?
Kelly?
Mr. Mayor and Council, thank y'all for taking a minute to see me. I've got my presentation down to about 6 minutes.
Could you please come close to the mic?
Is that close enough?
Yeah, so I can hear you, but people in the back
Okay.
really don't.
I just want to thank the council and mayor for taking and putting me on the agenda, giving me a few minutes. And I've got my presentation down to about 6 minutes if I follow my script. And I'm assuming that y'all see the same thing I do. I know some of us want to go home and watch a football game tonight. Roll Tide.
Second.
My name's Kelly Garrett. I'm from Greenville, Texas. The name of our company is State Street Housing. I've been developing real estate and been a general contractor for 25 years in all over Texas and parts of Louisiana. We started our multifamily business in 2005, and with my business partner, Jeff Spicer. He's the smart guy, and I'm the good-looking one. So you won't see him very often. He's actually in a wheelchair, but he has a master's degree in real estate finance, so he is brilliant. But we've been in the business for since 2005. And up to date, combined, we've developed over 1,000 units, over $100 million of multifamily real estate. That next screen is a little slide of our footprint. We go from Lafayette to Lubbock and a few points in between. The green dots are our home office in Greenville, Texas, where I'm born and raised and still live there today. And of course, the yellow star is Paris, Texas, where we're proposing our Stonebridge of Paris. Next slide, sir, please. A little bit about Stonebridge of Paris. We're proposing 80 units of new construction, which will target families in the Paris area. There'll be a mix of market rate units and affordable units, and I'll speak to that later, what the affordable units will be, and I'll take any questions when we get done here. I didn't want you to change that. I lose my train of thought here, and I get to thinking about Roll Tide. But there'll be 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units. Will be located at 4800 Lamar Avenue, which is just west of 46 on the north side of 82. Like all of our other communities, it'll be a Class A project, Class A property, and all the photos you see in here are actually our properties that we own. There's the area location map, which kind of shows you that we are east of the Loop and on the north side of 82 Lamar Avenue. And next one, please. And that's a little zoom in of our site location. We have 5 acres there under contract, which is just across the street from the tumbling and trampoline business there. Some of the social services we provide at our properties are weekly character building programs, after school tutoring, financial planning, twice a month social events, and weekly exercise classes, just to name a few, because the program that we're doing, part of our financing in, requires that these services are provided, and you have to stay in compliance with the state, of course. Next one, sir. The clubhouse and interior amenities, like I say, these are photos of some of our actual properties. We really do have a property with palm trees. It's in southern Louisiana where it doesn't freeze. We put in large private pools, full perimeter fencing, controlled access gates, fitness centers, community rooms, business centers with free Wi-Fi, garages, storage, playgrounds, gazebos, grills, and picnic areas. The next slide. And some of our, can you back up one? Some of our interior unit amenities are crown molding, vinyl plank, flooring, washers and dryers in every unit. We do not have a community washing exterior on our site. We found that it works better if you put a washer and dryer in each unit and then provide that to the tenants. Of course, refrigerators with ice makers, dishwashers, designer lighting, 14-seer air conditioners, and all the amenities of a home. Next one, please. Our income, rents, and operations, and this is where we kind of get into the meat of the matter. We are proposing to do this partial with tax credits, which we compete in the state of Texas for tax credits on a regional basis. And the region that Paris in is referred to as Region 4. The tax credits are awarded based on competition and based on points. Your school scores really well. Your town has all the amenities that everyone's looking for. And plus it's close to home for me. But it's all based on the median income of the area, and the area median income for a family of 4 in Lamar County is $51,600. And we will be renting these to families that make 60% or less of the median income. If you look at the rent schedule there, you will see that that lists the rents, a pretty wide range there, from $284 to $568, from $365 to $730. We'll also have market rate units in the property, which we will rent to people with no income restrictions. So if someone shows up and makes more than 60% of median income, we have a unit that we can rent them. A little bit about our operations. We've got very strict leasing policies. We do full criminal background checks. We even verify if the students are in school. If the students aren't in school a required number of days, they can be evicted for that, because we don't want a bunch of truant kids hanging out on our properties, because that's where all the other truant kids will come hang out on our properties. So that's something that is checked on a regular basis, and there is no applicant admitted to any of these properties with a criminal history. Our development team, like I say, I've been in the construction business and development business 25 years. Between my partner and I, between single family, multifamily, and commercial, we've developed over 14,000 units. Needless to say, we've been at it a while, but we have our own general contracting company. We'll come in and we'll hire as many local subcontractors as possible. Hopefully all of the above, because that gives us two reasons to do that. It's economics of scale, because travel is so high for all these subcontractors now, and plus when it comes time for warranty work, we want a local plumber, electrician, and HVAC people. Our architects, Cross Architect out of Dallas, they've been doing our work for 8 years. Civil engineer, that's another local that we always hire, is a local civil engineer because he's familiar with your city and your city operations and all your infrastructure and all the hoops and loops to get through this process of getting this thing ready to stick a shovel in the ground. Our attorney, Shackford, Milton McKinley, says on there, they've been doing our work for 11 years. Actually, they've been doing my work for 20 years. And our management company is Alpha Barnes. We develop, we build it, but we turn it over to a third-party management company that works for us. And our management company will hire local managers, assistant managers, leasing agents, and maintenance people, and they'll all be trained locally right here on our property. And then I believe there's a few additional photos of our properties that we have built, and all of these photos are actually properties that we own and operate. And we've been doing this for 10 years, and we have over 1,000 units, and we've never sold any of them. We keep all of our properties. And what we will be needing from the city council, I will be back on the 25th to ask for a resolution of support. We have to have a resolution of support to show the state that y'all welcome us here, that we're not trying to ram anything down anyone's throat. And other than that, that's my short presentation, and if you have any questions, I will entertain them, or you can contact me. My phone number's on here. You can call me anytime or email me.
Thank you very much. Anybody on the council has any questions? Okay. Is the item, which is item number 19, similar item?
It is a similar item, different company.
Okay, so can we wait on it, and can we combine those two items and listen, or you want to hear?
Well, we're not voting anyway.
Yeah.
These are just
Well, he's asking for a resolution.
next month,
Okay.
Not yet.
Didn't get it in time.
Yes, I'll be back on the 25th for a resolution of support, which that goes to the city attorney and city manager, and then comes to y'all. It gets a little more complicated. I just hate to come. I hate to come and bring that right off the bat. I'd rather show you who we are and what we do, and then let you make a decision on a resolution. It'd be very simple. It'd be yes or no.
Is this something that'll be open for public discussion as well, regarding the people that live nearby, that they may want to have some input into it too? I mean, are we going to have a public forum on this?
You certainly can. Absolutely, you can. That's up to you.
Most of public forums come on a zoning or plating or something, but I've seen them do it with a resolution of support also. Have a public comment.
Yeah, okay. I'd like to see that. I think, pro or con, I'd like to hear what people have to say.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I say, I've told the mayor and I've told the city manager, I'm not here to fight. I'm not here to argue. I'm from Greenville, Texas. I played a lot of ball against the Wildcats, but I've never lived in Paris, so I'm not going to try to come here and make your life difficult, especially not that gentleman's right there, because he has a very hard job to do. And but anyway, so I'll be open for anything, and I'll be sitting right back here if you have any questions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No other questions from anyone, right?
Not this time.
Not yet, because this would not be a public forum on this item right now. But if it is going to be added as a public forum, yes, absolutely. Next time when it's added as an agenda item.
We'll be here.
Okay. Item number 19, discuss and act on resolution supporting Saddlebrook Estates LLC for tax credit for the construction of affordable housing in Paris, located at 4660 Pine Mill Road.
This is the same program. This is for single-family residential, different company. Jay Malk is here to make a presentation. And we do have the resolution on the agenda tonight if you want to take action, or you can defer that to the 25th as well.
How you doing, council? My name's Jay Mock, and I'm from Durant, Oklahoma, not too far away. I did have a chance to meet with your city manager, and a couple months ago, I guess it was. My presentation is not as flashy as the gentleman before. It's the same type of a program. We are in Hugo right now, building 35 single-family houses, and we are a single-family developer. We build a product that's 1,400 to 1,600 square foot brick homes, 2-car garages, 28-foot road, curb and gutted roads, and so on. I do have a packet of information if you have time. I didn't want to waste your time because I've already gone over it with the city manager, and I don't know if you've had any conversation with the council on this or not. Okay, so can I take the time to pass this to you guys?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
I want a clarification. Is it, if the council decides to give a resolution, it's either or is it limited?
No, in fact, just this evening, we got a third company. Because of the way the rules have come out, apparently we're an attractive market for this type of product. The state will rank these competitively with one another. Some of them may be approved, none of them may approve. That's up to the state. And that's no guarantee that something will be approved. The state just requires that these companies come to you and make sure that it's basically okay with you. Not that you're recommending it or you think it's great, but just you're not going to oppose it because the state's not going to get involved in giving tax credits to people if city local jurisdiction is opposed to it for some reason.
And does the city have any involvement in spending any money on it?
No. They'll, once upon a time, the cities had to make a substantial contribution, meaning they gave money or gave in-kind services. The law's been changed now, it's just a de minimis amount, meaning you have to give them something. In our case, we have, the tax abatements for construction of new housing, that could count. We could discount their building permit fees, stuff like that, but we would be out we wouldn't write any money for any of this, no.
We've had cities before that will do the labor and putting a water line in. We're laying a portion of the sewer line.
Anyone has any questions for him?
We've came to ask for a resolution tonight. We've been here. I believe that's what we're trying to do tonight. It's
on the agenda for a possible vote, yes.
Okay. I'm here to ask for your support for a proposed housing development here in Paris. And we'll look at the location, but as I said, they're single-family homes. We have excellent amenities. We have 8 or 10 different floor plans that are 3 to 4 bedrooms. That'll be very nice to choose from. There'll be approximately 40 to 50 units of houses that we will build, single-family houses. And the next page is the site location. And that shows our location there on Pine Mill. Here's some quick pictures of a development that we did in Madill, Oklahoma. It was a 26-house development there in that city. We have done 2 developments in Ardmore. We've done one that I just finished up in Durant. It was a 40-house development on a lot of infill lots. Dilapidated structures and that sort of thing that we went back and built on. That was a 40 house, and then we're in Hugo now doing one. So we've got we are our own property manager. I should speak ahead of that. We're the developer. We'll build the homes. I build the homes, and then we have our own property management company out of Ardmore that oversees our unit.
Yep. Are these in the city limits of Paris?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right on the border.
Right between, okay.
Yes. Like I said, we're on property manager. Our target market is a common question is who's going to live in these houses. And in Hugo, the vice mayor, she's retired now, but she lived in one of our houses. We've got 3 or 4 policemen that live there. Many senior citizens live in there, and there's a portion of these houses will be disability approved, ADA compliant houses as well. And he went over the target market. Basically, the target market is a little bit different in homes. It rents from $400 to $800 on the houses, depending on your income. And then the 4-bedroom rents anywhere from $450 to $900. And a lot of benefits. We'll bring a lot of jobs here. We'll be here for about a year working here to build all the houses and the infrastructure. It takes a lot of time to get all that stuff done. And I know I'm probably wasting your time, but I'm echoing a lot of the same. Didn't realize there was going to be another developer here. So what we need is we need to see the support from the city council and the community. So I would ask that you consider this, and also we have to get a letter of support from the state representative, and then 4 other community organizations here in the city also. And I can answer any questions that you might have if you have some.
Thank you very much.
I do have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Now, these are all rental units.
They're what?
They are all rental units?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And
Now they'll have different brick, different.
Yeah, but I mean, but
right.
they're, none
Yes.
of them are, okay.
Yeah.
Have you, or Mr. Garrett, have either one of you, do y'all do market studies to determine if,
Yes.
I mean, the needs for these kind of places in Paris? I mean, I know that obviously you probably wouldn't spend them, but y'all done your research to realize that if you get one and you get one and this other third one gets one?
He can probably answer that better than me, but there's not going to be more than. Not only
Well,
more
he's
than one deal.
building, he's saying 80 homes, right? You said 80.
80 units.
80 units.
Yeah. Not homes. Homes, units. There
Yeah.
are some, but
Yes, to address the market analysis, what we do, I can't speak for him, but what we do, we have market analysis companies that we use that come in and check all the vital information as far as hospital, schools, income levels, need assessment, rate of rent, median incomes, those numbers I was spewing out a while ago. I pay people to do that. I'm not smart enough to tell you what the median income is, but the market analysis will come in and tell us everything, which we've already engaged ours. That's where we got our numbers. That's where we got our 80 units and our mix of our 1, 2s, and 3 bedrooms. We let market analysis people tell us that. There will probably be only one deal awarded in Paris. It's not that he's going to build and I'm going to build. It's probably just going to be one of us, and.
you're in competition with
We're in competition, yes, but we're also in competition with the whole region. So your town, Paris, is in competition with the whole region. He and I just happen to be the developers that are in Paris trying to make this work for Paris. So, but we're competing against the entire region, and the region's pretty big. It's Texarkana, Sherman's in another region. It goes down to Tyler and White House, and then back over to the Louisiana border. Greenville's in another region. And Sherman's in another region. That'd give you a boundary about what you're looking at for Region 4. But to answer your question, the short answer is yes. Market analysis people. That's what we do. I can't speak for him, but I'm sure he would have to have one.
Mr. Pickle, you're done with your question?
Yes, sir.
I do have a question, actually. His position, I've seen where his location is. What is your location?
Our location is right above his location.
Okay.
Oddly enough, it's just north of his property.
And that property is zonable to what your...
Well, it's single-family homes that are around it.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the current zoning of that property?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's
So-
agriculture.
It's agriculture.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. I mean, I've seen this package right now, benefits to Paris, which is estimated $5 to $7 million of construction, creation of 75 to 100 jobs, permitting fees, new property taxes. But personally, I'd like to digest this a little bit more.
Sure.
Before I decide that I want to go ahead with it.
That's fine.
And so I know you're wanting a resolution tonight, but personally, I mean, the rest of the council can decide. Personally, I'm not ready to
Okay.
give a resolution
That's fair.
tonight. That's just my feeling on that. And so that's my comment. And while I'm making that comment, the lady who was sitting there who wanted to talk, would you mind waiting after the council meeting? Since you're not on the agenda, can we talk after we get done with the meeting, please?
Well, am I ever going to get to address the issue?
The issue you can only address when it's an agenda item.
This is an agenda.
Yeah, but it's not open for public hearing.
Should make that clear.
Anybody else?
No, but I mean, I'm agreeing with you that at the time that we put this one on and then put this one on, we need to be sure that we just open it up for public forum at that, for
Yeah.
everybody, on both of them.
Yeah,
And maybe with the third one as well, that it, before we get them all
Absolutely.
three at the same time.
yeah. Mr. Frierson?
No comments for me.
Dr. Clifford?
I just want to make sure people get an opportunity to talk in favor or opposed to this before we vote on the resolution.
Mr. Pilata?
I agree with him. I agree with you too. I'd rather wait to do both of you together and look at this a little bit more. If you don't mind.
Mr. Jenkins?
About to say, I'd like to take a look at it, take a little time on it.
Thank you.
I'd like to have the time to look at it in more in depth and also to make sure our residents have a chance to ask questions and get answers.
So I'll make a motion to table this item for today and put it as a public hearing item for the next time, along with action if the council desires to.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you very much.
Will the floor be at the next meeting?
Yes. Item number 20 is discuss and possibly act with regard to contractors for the Trail de Paris reconstruction project, 19 Southwest Water and Sewer Project. Mr.
That was put on there by me. I wrote down some stuff I wanted to read, but I wanted to talk about it. First, we're going to talk about the project on Houston Street. And we took a trip in which we were shown problems on Houston Street. Then a lady talked to me the other day, so I went back to Houston Street last week. The street is still pretty rough to me, and the ditch alongside the loop was full of water. It's so much that it's any more water is going to almost get into this lady's house. That was the problem I saw there. Then the same contractor did the work on 19 Southwest, and my complaint there is every place the street was cut, he did a horrible job of repairing it. Your cars runs across it rough. There's one real bad dip. It's what I feel this contractor is not completing the project satisfactorily, and I think didn't the contract say that the finished product will be the same or better than when the project was begun. That's what we always were led to believe. I bring this up only because another contract has been awarded to the same contractor to put in some more lines, and to me, he hasn't finished these projects yet. Plus, he's got shoddy work showing that, and I don't see why another project was given to him when he can't complete his other jobs satisfactorily, to me. Then the other contractor on the trail, I believe, if I remember correctly, this project was led in September, and we were told that it would be completed around October or the middle of November. And if I remember correctly, there was ample dry time to get this done. But I believe, and the people believe, what happens is that these certain contractors take jobs such as these, but they only work on it when they have slack time. So now he drug his feet, and it's so wet that this rehab of the trail is months away. And the same contractor now is in the process of getting awarded another job to do the rest of the trail. I'm just saying, our streets are getting worse as projects for water and sewer are being completed. Holes are being repaired, and some may be good, but after a few months, the asphalt is sunk and creates another hole. So this is a problem that's happening all over the city. So I feel that we as a council are failing in our job, which we were elected. The council, we should somehow work together to try to eliminate the types of problems that's happening with our streets and the projects that are done and the way this thing is turning out. To me, we ought to be looking out for the betterment of our city and the well-being of the people. All I'm saying is this: our streets are bad, they're getting worse. But when a car travels over a street that's been repaired and your teeth get shaken, it's a failure on the council's part. And whatever we need to do to stop this from keep happening, we need to do it. And I'm reaching out to this council to see what we can do to make these contractors, to hold them accountable. If it's, I just, because people all the time come to me complaining about how streets are bad after the contractors get through. And so that's what can we do?
Done?
Yes.
Since, though it's not a completely part of this, but I think we had hired a company to do the appraisal of this previous work. I think we lost that company, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
So if this is an action item today, this is not listed as an action item today, so I suppose we can't
It is
discuss.
actually possibly action.
Possibly. I didn't know what we could do.
Oh, possibly act, okay. Well, I think the first thing that my suggestion would be to rebid the thing again, to get other people to come in and reevaluate the situation and perform a review of the work that has been performed as the first thing. Now, and you're pointing out the right things, but there are other places between Bonham and Graham Street, it's again the same issue.
Yeah.
Terrible situation with the street after the repair work of infrastructure. It is looking so bad that I think some people are regretting that they voted for the bond project, quite honestly.
And I think it's,
Church Street,
Yeah.
and even though it wasn't part of the bond.
and I think it's important to look at this because what we can see, everything we can see, seems to have not been done right. But the important stuff is what's under the ground, because that's the stuff that's going to give the city trouble 5, 10, 15 years from now when this doesn't last, if it's not done right. I don't know whether it is or not, but that's what I was hoping the inspection would show us. And what's our time limit on this before we could get a bonding company? Is it 1 year? If there were a problem with this that were found to be significant, what's the time limit on the bond?
We have a bond on each project for 1 year.
So when's that 1 year expire? I mean, we're dragging our heels on this, and I think the time limit's about to run out.
Well, we have not accepted that project yet, so the year hasn't started
Okay,
yet.
okay.
So, no, we're not dragging
Okay.
anything.
Okay, so we have a year after we accept.
Once the project's accepted,
Okay, good.
we're still holding their money
Good.
on that project, so.
But I think as a matter of thing, I think we should give the direction on this item for the city to re-go and rebid the project out for inspections of these projects.
What could we do right now to make them go back and fix these streets that they've messed up? 19th is terrible.
19th does have some problems with it, agreed. They're only substantially complete, and that means the sewer, the water is in the ground, it is in service. The weather has been a major factor. The street, the dip you're talking about on 19th was done exactly like TxDOT required it to be done, and we argued with them on that. So, but that was their design, and we've gone back and made some repairs. But I mean, it's substantially complete. We don't want to turn into a West Houston where we tell them to get in there and they just make a mess of everything, and then they think they're done. So we don't want to do it twice. I mean, it's not complete.
Ms. Langton?
No, go
Excuse
ahead.
in the parts that they cut out, you got about 4 or 5 squares that they cut out, and they're just rougher the cob.
Right.
Well, not only that, the issue that Dr. Clifford had pointed out, if the outside is like that, Lord knows what's on the inside.
Are we having any inspection of this?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How is it being inspected?
All of our installation, as far as the lines themselves, are being inspected, the back tees, the densities, by city staff, and and densities are a third party on our soil testing. So, I mean, it's the cosmetics. I mean, and it's the weather has been a big factor in it. I mean, I think everybody knows that.
So I've heard,
Well, and you talk about West Houston being bad. Now, that we did make them come back and redo all the driveway approaches, all the stuff that was messed up there. Now you're talking about some imperfections on some streets that were imperfect to begin with. Okay, so now we've came back in as a city and we've done some curb and gutter on those streets. We have a block of that when weather permits, we're going to do a mill and overlay on those streets, and you'll see a vast improvement on that. So,
And this Bonham and Graham, between Bonham and Graham Street?
no, you're talking about like on that end, all the different. That's still under construction. They've just now completed the sewer. Now they're tearing up doing the water. So yeah, I mean it's
on West Houston, you have the driveways and the curbs, but we still don't know about the sewer line and the water line.
They're in service and they are working. I know they have.
We have an awful lot of water around there. I don't know where it came from.
Well,
I realize we've had rain, but
Right now that there is a problem, as Mr. Plata said down there on that where that water was standing on the end.
quite a bit of water.
Yeah, and we're trying to look at a fix for that. That was there before the
Right,
contract. I think it may be a little worse now, but it was a problem before.
Do we actually know where it's coming from?
I mean, just the wet weather. I don't know.
Because it was
Standing.
here when
I
it
mean, there's
wasn't.
nothing absorbing or evaporating at this point.
I'm just concerned it's been there and it wasn't raining at that time.
Yeah.
I want to get into to call it anything else a pissing match here, but
No, that's fine. That's fine.
19th Street, before they started on it, about 6 months prior to that or so, was completely redone by TxDOT. Completely.
Mhm.
It was smooth. So that street, it was cut, after they did their repairs, it's terrible.
I agree.
So you don't sit there and tell me that they had problems before and stuff, because that street was completely redone.
I agree with that.
Okay.
But you've got to understand, you now cut. You've got to repair the patch in a street. I mean, that's what you have, and it was built exactly like. We've got the pictures, the documentation, TxDOT's requirement to put that street back. We've got all of that. Now the subsurface, I mean, just like 7th Street, which was another project, they went in trying to make repairs to clean that up this last week. The weather was too cold, the asphalt was peeling. We said stop. We're not going to say that they've done it and then they're done, and here we are inheriting a mess. So, I mean, it's a timing factor thing that we're just not going to accept it if the weather's not permitted and it's not done right. So,
Mr. Plata, do you have any specific suggestions yourself that you want adopted? What would you like the council to do?
First of all, I feel like, is this street going to get repaired? It's what you tell me it's going to be repaired?
yes.
It is.
Yes.
I don't think we need to, I myself don't think we need to award another contract to the same contractor when they can't finish what they've started. But to keep on doing it. That's,
Well, just to clarify two things. One is, we don't keep doing it. The city council approves contracts over $50,000, and the city council unanimously approved the most recent contract with B. Bray Construction. That work has already been completed. It was completed very quickly. It was needed to be done in a timely manner because of construction that was going on at the First Methodist Church. So it's already done. One project didn't have anything to do with the other. Second thing is, you can disqualify a vendor if there's a lot of legal things you have to go through for that, but there is a legal process. If the fact the council wants to instruct the city manager and the city attorney to pursue that as a legal matter to disqualify that or any other vendor from future construction, there is a process under state law to do that.
Just Just to clarify, the projects that we're talking about over in West Paris, they haven't been closed out.
That's correct.
Right, so until we're satisfied with their work, that's,
Correct,
okay.
correct.
How much of the
And
money?
you can blame that on me. I'm not gonna let them come in and do they use a half-assed job and walk away from it. I want it complete, I want it done right, and the weather has not been permitting for us to do that, so.
That's what
Yeah.
I just want assurances that it's gonna be fixed. And it's gonna be fixed, not just like it is right now,
Right,
but it's
yeah.
gonna be fixed.
That's definitely our intentions, you bet.
What percent of the money has been paid thus far on the West Paris project? What percent are we holding back, do you know?
Are we just holding retainage or retainage plus the last payment? I don't recall.
I think there's like 100 and
Retainage is 5%,
30
so
or
we've got at least that
40,000
5%, maybe a little
left,
bit more than that.
and it will not be paid till it's done. Substantial completion, that's it. He will not receive another payment till it's complete.
Does that satisfy you?
Well, that's a plus. We shouldn't be paying them if it's not done.
Yeah.
And again, remember, if you've got some sort of catastrophic issue, as Mr. Plata said, in addition to the retainage, you also have a bonding company that's required to support that if there's some sort of significant failure. Now, not to get too far afield, because this was posted as, I think, about the pavement for the most part, but the fact that you have concerns about pavement is not necessarily reflective of what's been going on with the water lines and the sewer lines. Those aren't done by the same folks. This is a utility construction company, and as we saw when they tried to do pavement over on Houston, kind of as a temporary stopgap measure, it was poorly done. We're requiring them to use paving companies to do pavement work now. Since last 6 months ago, 7 months ago, when Public Works took over construction management, we are very meticulous with documenting all of our inspections. Those are photographed, those are booked, there's a catalog kept. I think, Dr. Clifford, you've reviewed that, in fact, in the past. Maybe some of the others of you have. So there's no evidence or suggestion that any failures are occurring with either the water lines or sewer lines. So that's the good news, I think. The bad news is, and I'm not being argumentative because, again, the project's not done yet, and certainly we hope 19th Southwest is dramatically better when it is done. But it's not possible to dig up a road and put it back and not be able to tell the difference. It's like if you get a hole in your suit coat, and you take it to the tailor, you're going to still be able to see that there was a hole in your suit coat. It's still just not going to be perfect. We've had some bad work in some places. We had some really bad work on Church Street a year ago, but Church Street is an example of it's an old, beat-up street that needs to be completely replaced. And we can't make it a good street by putting some more filling more potholes and digging more holes up. It's just going to make it considerably worse and worse and worse. And that's not excuses, but I don't want your expectations to be so high that we're going to dig up all these roads in the next 2 years, and then when we get through, they're going to look really good when we get through. They're going to look like old roads that have been dug up, because that's what they're going to be.
And I understand, Mr. Godwin, but I think there's a little difference between patchwork and good patchwork and bad patchwork. So
Absolutely.
I don't buy into that one that, just because it's an old street, that you must go into a dip,
I agree. And we're certainly not going to,
And again, I'm very happy that you've picked up on it. It's not your issue over here because you actually didn't supervise the project to begin with. And I'm happy that you're trying to fix issues. Obviously, we are all concerned about it because what we see possibly as a completed project, doesn't look good. And so that is where the issue lies. And I do think that if a street, though bad, is compacted properly and paved properly, yes, you will see the color difference, but you don't have to go in a ditch to cross again. So if it's acceptable to you and you want to give them a little bit of time to see if once weather is improved, if it comes back to your satisfaction, and if it doesn't, then we talk again. But in the meantime, at least authorize the city to relook at bids on reevaluation of the project that we had accepted before, because the last company didn't follow through on it. They didn't want to do the inspections anymore.
They didn't.
Well, no, because they wanted, if I'm not mistaken, they either wanted the full contract of everything, on inspection. Though he said it that day in the meeting over here that he's
Right.
fine with doing what we have authorized, but he changed his mind after the fact, so.
All right, at the November meeting, you authorized them to proceed with just doing the review of the Houston Street and that phase one. And again, at that meeting, he said that was okay with him, but ultimately, the company decided not to pursue that, and so they dropped out. And I sent y'all that information about a few weeks ago.
Well, let me say, Jerry, I have confidence in you. You've shown that you come up, I believe that you come up and you stop stuff when it's being done, and I agree with that. I buy into that. But, so I'm when Dr. Hoshby, I'll give you, if it's weather, you tell me it's weather stopping you, and you stop them because it's weather, well, that's all right, as long as something's being done with it.
Yeah.
To me, it looked like nothing's being done.
Well, and right now, really, there is nothing because we have put a stop on it because we don't want them just out there dragging along and saying they're done at the end and they're still not.
Well,
So,
okay. While we're on the subject of something, I'm gonna bring up something else. The chip seal that was done on Washington Street, I don't know what they've done, but in prior years, the chip seal come out real nice and pretty, but this chip seal this time
we got
is
a lot
no
of streaks
better.
in it, yeah.
So,
All right. So we're going to give them some extra time and see how, once the weather changes, or
Yes.
what the product looks like. So we move over to the next agenda item. Actually, if I could ask to table this item number 21, which is discuss and provide direction to city attorney on airport rent delinquencies, if we can table this temporarily. And
How long?
till we go into the executive
Oh, okay.
session, and
Oh, okay.
we don't have a city attorney right now, so. So I'll make a motion to table this item temporarily.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Item number 22 is convene into executive session pursuant to section 551.074 of Texas Government Code to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, disciplines, or dismissal of public officer or employee as follows. City attorney. Section 551.087 to discuss, deliberate regarding commercial and financial information that the governmental body has received from a business prospect that the governmental body seeks to have locate, stay, or expand in or near the territory of the governmental body with which the governmental body is conducting economic development negotiations, or to deliberate the offer of a financial or other incentive to a business prospect described by subdivision 1. The time now is 6:47, and we'll go into executive session. There were two items discussed in the executive session. The first item was with reference to the city attorney. The city attorney has tendered his resignation, and I'm going to make a motion first to accept the resignation of the city attorney. So do I have a second on that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The second motion that I'm going to ask for is, since we require a city attorney, I would like to ask Ms. Harris has expressed her willingness to the city manager to take the position as the interim city attorney, so I'll make a motion to appoint her as the interim city attorney.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. The third thing that was discussed in the executive session was the resolution on the name of the company.
Silgan Can, or Silgan, I guess. Silgan. Silgan is acquiring additional equipment to expand the types of products they can make, and they're asking for a tax abatement consistent with that which was approved by the county earlier today.
And so I'll make a motion to approve it from the city's standpoint.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, let me see. What is the next item? Is it past 7:30 or not?
I have a fairly long list of future items if you'd like to
Yes,
talk about.
let's hear all of them slowly.
Well, it's only January, so we could start with, now there's Ash Wednesday coming up, Groundhog Day.
Item number 24, consider and approve future events on the city of the city council or city staff pursuant to resolution 2004-081. Anything? All right. Item
So
number
moved.
25.
And a second.
All right, second?
Second.
All right.